Have you ever thought about why we can stay calm in the worst of times, but get upset over small problems? Some days, we wake up feeling like we can take on the world, but other days, even a small setback can make us feel like we can't handle the stress. When you're feeling strong, spilling coffee on a white shirt might just make you laugh before you change clothes. But when you're tired, the same thing can feel like the end of the world. What makes this difference so big? Not the situation itself. We've all been bothered by small everyday things that don't really matter. We also tend to ignore big problems as if they were just a normal part of life. What makes the real difference is our mental strength. This strength keeps us from relying on negative thoughts and helps us not only get through each day, but also get better every day, just like physical strength. We can and should also work on building mental strength to make our lives better, which is what today's movie is all about. Let's look at 10 lessons from Stoic thought that will help you build a strong mind so that you can stay strong no matter what and move forward steadily. Please leave a comment before we start the first lesson. I'm up for the challenge of watching the whole movie and not missing a single lesson. Are you ready? Leave a comment and let's begin. Number 1. Focus on the present moment. A lot of us think a lot about the past or the future. We might wish our lives were different, feel bad about things we've said or done, or silently judge the actions of those around us. Even when we're happy, we sometimes worry that it won't last, that we're not happy enough, or that we're missing out on something. Try slowing down, focusing on the present, and enjoying what you're doing. Stoic philosophy, which stresses life in the present and in tune with nature, can teach us a lot. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "Remember that man lives only in the present, this brief moment. The rest of his life is either past and gone or not yet revealed." He was talking about why we should focus on the present, since thinking about the past or the future makes us anxious and uneasy. Being in the present not only helps us feel less anxious, but it also makes us more creative and productive. This is the first thing we need to do to make our minds stronger in everyday life. Have you ever been thinking about the next thing that will happen and lost track of what's going on around you? Mindfulness and meditation can help us bring our attention to the present moment. This practice not only makes us more awake and aware, but it also gives us the chance to understand our feelings and thoughts more deeply. Focusing on the present moment has clear benefits, ranging from improving our mental health to making our daily lives better. But how can we make mindfulness a part of our everyday lives? One way is to start by making our daily jobs easier. Just take a moment to breathe deeply or look around you and really feel everything. This teaches us to enjoy every moment and see the value in every exchange. Keeping a daily journal is another great way to think about things and stay present. Do you write down your thoughts and feelings to better understand your life? We can learn to better control our feelings and thoughts this way, which will make us more mentally strong in all settings. Number 2. Practice gratitude. A famous Stoic philosopher named Marcus Aurelius once said, "A person's worth is measured by the worth of what he values." This quote reminds us of how important it is to value what we have instead of wanting things that are out of our reach. When we stop and think about what we have, no matter how small, we realize that our lives are richer than we thought. This not only makes us happier, but also helps us deal with problems in a more positive way. Have you ever stopped to think about the things you've done well and the problems you've solved and felt grateful for them? Writing in a gratitude journal every day can become a strong habit that benefits both your mind and spirit. A gratitude journal not only helps us keep track of the good things in our lives, but it also gives us a chance to think about and appreciate them. Are you ready to start this habit today? If so, leave a comment below this video saying, "I'm ready." Did you know that one of the beautiful things about gratitude is that it has a ripple effect? When you show gratitude to others, it not only strengthens your relationships, but also makes them feel important in your life, creating a positive feedback loop. Keeping ties and understanding strong. Being mindful, or fully aware, is an important part of developing gratitude. When we practice mindfulness, we learn to live in each moment and see its value not as something obvious, but as a gift. These acts of gratitude and reflections go beyond being a habit. They form the basis for building mental strength and resilience. When we choose to see and appreciate life from a gratitude perspective, we not only confirm our belief in our ability to persevere and grow as people, but we also broaden our vision in search of a more fulfilling and meaningful life during life's storms. It's not the turmoil itself that makes us mentally strong, but how we see it. The philosopher Seneca said that we are more often scared than hurt, and that we suffer more from our imaginations than from reality. When you choose to see the world through the lenses of calmness and resilience, you not only change how you deal with problems, but you also give yourself the chance to overcome any challenge. This is a great place to start if you want to build an unbreakable mind. Number 3, control your perception. The question comes up because perspective is not a perfect copy of reality, but a relative thing that is shaped by each person's feelings and experiences. Have you ever questioned whether you are seeing things clearly or just responding to biases that you have learned? Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." He meant that our perception has the power to either create or destroy our reality. A skewed perception can lead to bad decisions and negative emotions, while a correct and positive perception can make us stronger and help us find inner peace. Being self-aware means being able to see and understand your own thoughts, feelings, and actions. It's the first step to changing how you see things so they are more in line with reality and better for your personal growth. It is possible to get deeper and more objective insights into life through mindfulness practice and cognitive restructuring. This can help us make better decisions and have fewer negative responses. We can't deny that our relationships and the environment we live in have a big impact on how we see the world. Choosing a positive environment and maintaining healthy relationships are important for clear and deep perception. In the end, having correct perception not only makes us stronger, but it also helps us deal with problems. When you're having a hard time, do you often remind yourself that you can choose how you see and react to an event? How we see and react to the world shapes both the present and the future. We believe that everyone's journey is different. How have you changed how you saw a situation and what effects did it have? Please leave your comments below this video, and let's talk about how we can use Stoic philosophy to improve our mental health and make progress every day. Number 4, be guided by reason. Reason and logic are not only ways to understand the world, but also the basis for making smart choices. When we balance our emotions and thoughts, we can look at problems in a more complete way, which not only makes us stronger, but also makes it easier to solve problems. When we consciously control our emotions, we avoid acting on impulse and stay calm in all situations. Critical thought is a process that requires us to constantly question and reevaluate what we think are the answers to questions like, are my feelings clouding my judgment? And, is this the best solution? Are not only helpful, but they also make us think deeply about ourselves and the choices we make. We learn to regularly evaluate and think about ourselves, let go of old ideas, and move forward with strong, new beliefs through this process. Imagine a project manager named Mark has had a major failure at work. The project he was in charge of did not meet its goals. Now Mark has to deal with pressure from his bosses and disappointment from the team. Instead of letting his feelings get in the way, Mark chooses to use logic to figure out what went wrong. Mark starts by asking everyone on the team to talk about the problems they've had. This helps him and the team figure out what needs to be fixed in the project management and how resources are being used. They then work on making a better movement plan based on what they've learned and using new testing methods to lower future risks, in this case using reason. Has two benefits. It helps the manager control their feelings, and it turns a bad situation into a chance to grow and learn. Mark and his team were able to solve problems thanks to their clear thinking and determination. Has reason ever helped you get through something? How did controlling your emotions and using logic in that choice change the way you saw the situation? In a world full of changes, there is nothing more valuable than learning to act with reason. Not only is this skill important for dealing with problems, it's also a strong base for daily personal growth. A mind that isn't broken is one that knows how to use reason as a guiding light in the dark night of doubt and confusion. There are some things in life that we can't change or control. Can we learn to let go of them without getting angry? I and power of mind. Let's look at lesson 5, which is one of the most important ones that helps us build a strong mind for today's tough world. Number 5. Practice detachment. The search for inner peace is not only a need, but also an art, according to the Stoic philosophy. Great thinkers like Marcus Aurelius have shown us a powerful way to do this. Marcus Aurelius wrote that detachment means freeing your mind from what other people say and do, what you've said or done, what you're afraid will happen, the body that holds you, and the breath that flows through you, and what the whirling chaos brings in from the outside. This frees the mind from fate and brings it to clarity so that it can live its own life, doing what's right, accepting what happens, and telling the truth. What's important here is not indifference or coldness, but the ability to keep a mind that isn't tied to things we can't change. One of the benefits of practicing detachment is being able to stay calm during storms. When we don't let outside events affect our emotions, we can deal with everything calmly and logically, which helps us make better choices. Being aware of how we respond to things going on around us is the first step in this practice. But what's more important is becoming self-aware and learning where our emotions come from so we don't let them control what we do. Think of Peter, an office worker at a tech company, got a review of his work every 3 months. When Peter's boss tells him that he hasn't met project goals and that the quality of his work isn't up to par, Peter doesn't get angry or upset. Peter listens calmly and chooses to look at how he does his job again. He knows that getting new tools and taking a project management course will help him better handle his time and do better work. Instead of letting criticism hurt his self-esteem or happiness, Peter sees it as a chance to grow as a person and in his career. As a result, Peter not only does a better job at work, but he also gains respect from his co-workers and bosses and is on his way to finding inner happiness. Mindfulness and self-reflection must be done every day. The ultimate goal of detachment is not only to be free from unneeded worries, but also to develop deep contentment that lets us live fully in any situation. Before we move on to lesson 6, we want to thank you for watching the first half of this video with us. Your patience and attention not only show how valuable it is to practice emotional detachment, but also show that you are learning to accept things you can't change, which is a big step toward mental strength. If you think these lessons are helpful, please like and share this video with others. It will help us and make our community stronger as a whole. Stay tuned for the rest of the video and keep learning with us in the next lessons. Number 6. Accept what you cannot change. I'm not saying this because I need something. I've learned to be happy with what I have. I know what it's like to be poor and what it's like to have a lot. I now know how to be happy no matter what, whether I'm full or hungry, having plenty or not having enough. I can do this with the help of Him who makes me strong. 11-13 in Philippians 4, music. It's not going to bring you peace to worry about things you can't change. Being angry or unhappy about things you can't change won't make you happy. Neither will feeling guilty about things you can't change. Accepting the things you can't change is the only thing that will make you happy. Epicurus, a Stoic philosopher, once said that happiness and freedom start with a clear understanding of one principle. We can't control everything, and that's okay. This is a strong reminder of how important it is to accept what you can't change. When we let go of the need to control things that are out of our control, we free ourselves from fears and stress that aren't necessary. When we practice acceptance, we not only learn to live in the present, but we also open ourselves up to the future, no matter what form it may take. Can start by paying attention to and accepting our own feelings when we're in tough scenarios. Whether you do mindfulness meditation or keep an emotional writing in a journal can help you figure out and slowly let go of the negative feelings we have when we can't change something. The last thing I want to ask is if you've ever, how did it feel to accept something you can't change? Has it changed how you deal with problems in the future? Let us know in the comments below. The lesson of acceptance is not only a part of Stoic philosophy, but it's also a key part of building a strong mind. When we learn to accept, we not only free ourselves from the chains of what we can't change, but we also make it easier for ourselves to adapt and grow in any situation. Number 7. Cultivate inner peace. Have you ever felt like you were not tied to your being? Have you ever realized that you desperately needed inner peace? There comes a time when you realize that compared to the chaos and negativity outside, returning to yourself and nurturing inner peace is more important than ever. Nurturing inner peace is not just a choice, it's a vital need. As Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "The mind is never right but when it is at peace with itself." This shows how the mind and emotions are connected, and that true peace comes from being able to control your thoughts. At the heart of nurturing inner peace is realizing that while we can't control what happens in life, we can control how you react to it. To do this, you have to stay patient with yourself and practice accepting and being thankful for what you have. One example of how to use inner peace in everyday life is the story of a frontline hospital doctor who worked in a high-stress and high-pressure environment. He learned to focus on the small things he could control instead of the big things that were out of his control. By focusing on his work and being thankful for the efforts of his co-workers, he created a peaceful space in his mind that helped him deal with the problems that came up every day. As part of a spiritual path, mental peace is also important. This doctrine emphasizes the importance of seeking peace through deep connection with the divine, while sharing love and compassion with others. Learning to let go of worries and trusting in divine guidance is the first step towards a peaceful life where souls are elevated and spirits are renewed through practicing these lessons. We can develop a resilient mind, creating a solid foundation to face challenges without losing inner tranquility. This peace not only enhances our quality of life, but also motivates us to continue moving forward, regardless of circumstances in everyone's life. There are often trials and obstacles when facing storms. Stoic philosophy advises that it's not the outcome but the persistent action to overcome challenges that matter most. This is not just advice, but a powerful reminder of the unbreakable strength of human will. It's the foundation of mental resilience, where we not only overcome difficulties, but also learn to accept and turn suffering into motivation to move forward, continuing the journey without stepping back. Number 8. Keep moving forward. Few lessons are more important than sticking with something even when it's hard and never giving up when things get tough. Stoic thought not only shows us how to deal with problems, but also how to use them as motivation to grow as people. To really keep going, we need to set goals that are clear and will last. Although setting goals is important, staying motivated can be hard when things get tough. Surrounding yourself with supportive people and sharing your vision is just as important. These people will not only give you emotional support, but they will also inspire you to keep going. Next, think about your progress and accomplishments. Every step, no matter how small, is part of a bigger journey to self-improvement. Marcus Aurelius says that reflection is not just an idea, it's a way of life. Finally, it's impossible to stress enough how important it is to build inner strength and resilience. We need to learn how to use difficulties as learning opportunities and grow as people. Let us know if you learned anything from Lesson 8 by leaving a comment below the video saying, "I will move forward and never retreat." Number 9. Be virtuous. Cultivate humility and empathy. Before we get to lesson number 9, let's look at a real-life example of humility and empathy in Stoic history. Marcus Aurelius was emperor, but he still took time every day to think about his flaws and mistakes, reminding himself that he was only a small part of the universe. When a slave accidentally spilled wine on the table, he didn't get angry. Instead, he paused, acknowledged that mistakes happen, and then forgave the slave, showing deep empathy. From the story of Marcus Aurelius, we can learn that by nurturing humility and empathy, we can not only build personal virtues, but also a strong base that will help us handle any challenge that comes our way. Empathy is the ability to understand and share another person's feelings. It is an important skill that helps us connect with people in a real and meaningful way. By consistently practicing humility and empathy, we not only free ourselves from the chains of pride and selfishness, but we also grow our understanding and love for others, making the world a better place to live in line with the ideas of the Stoics. We're interested. Do you remember a time when you had to show humility or empathy? How did that change the way you interacted with other people? Please share your story and thoughts in the comments. Number 10. Embrace adversity. In Stoic thought, embrace adversity is not just an idea, it's a call to action that helps us not only get through hard times, but also thrive on them. Trouble is not an enemy, but a guide and a way to motivate us to get better. As one of the great Stoic philosophers, Seneca, said, "It is not because things are hard that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are hard." This quote shows that hardship is not only unavoidable, but also necessary for building character and inner strength. It also changes how we should deal with challenges, not out of fear or avoidance, but with courage and acceptance. So, I want to ask you, the viewer, have you ever faced a big challenge that you later realized helped you grow? This question not only makes you think about your own experiences, but it also asks you to share your story, which opens up a place for community members to share and support each other. Stoic philosophy's idea of embrace adversity is a powerful way to live. It not only helps us face and get through problems, but it also turns them into opportunities for growth and progress. By accepting and even welcoming adversity, we not only strengthen our minds, but we also approach life with a positive outlook and a clear sense of purpose. In this article, we looked at 10 timeless lessons from Stoic philosophy that will help you build mental strength that can't be broken. Let's help each other grow. Which of these 10 lessons will change your life? Which lesson impresses you the most? Share your thoughts below so that others can learn from them. If these lessons were helpful, don't forget to show your friends and family by liking and sharing this video. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any lessons on your way to becoming the best version of yourself. Watch out for more videos. At the end of today's video, thanks for watching and see you in the next video.